Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another fresh look. And today, we're going to be checking out one of the fairly brand new, fairly recent Super 7 TMNT Ultimates figure. This is MUCKMAN and Joe Eyeball. You can see the box right here. Fairly large box, right? Overall, just to give you an idea, just to give you the size measurements, it's he's precisely about 2.5 Fugitoids tall, right? That's the new standard form of measurement right there. Not a whole lot going on in the box. Standard brown shipper box. And what you do is you just kind of undo this right here, open it up. Now, they do come in like a poly bag sort of deal. I already took it off for those of you wondering, but just to make it a lot easier for you to see it. But yeah, you get the nice shipper right there too. It's nice and green. You got the MUCKMAN and the whole manhole cover, Ninja Turtles on the back, just in case you forgot what line you were collecting on the top side. Ultimates right there. It's a humongous box, right? So I'm expecting a humongous figure, and sure enough, yeah, you slip the cover off right there, and sure enough, yeah, you get to see MUCKMAN and Joe Eyeball in all their glory. Now, what Super 7 has done is they take the old Playmates Varner Studio sculpts and they supercharge them, right? They bring out all the details of which I'm going to go over, but I mean, this in and of itself, I'll give it to them all day. That's a glorious art piece right there. This sucker has got paint on it for days. The sculpt is amazing. It's got the premium packaging overall. I could take it or leave it, in all honesty, right? You can screen grab this if you want the bio. But in either case, this is going to be fun. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot mucktacular cup of coffee. This is a look at the fairly recent, fairly brand new Super 7 MUCKMAN and Joe Eyeball. And while I got all you Joe Eyeballs here, I just want to say, if you haven't already, please do consider checking out Ent Earth. Got lots of great stuff on there, like Mezco's, and they got new Multiverse, and they got Marvel Legends. They got everything you could possibly imagine if you are a new collector. They don't sell any old stuff, but in case you were wondering about MUCKMAN, you just type that in, and yeah, sure enough, MUCKMAN Joe Eyeball will pop up. Now, like I said, Super 7 is a bit of a premium, right? Premium line to collect. If NECA may be more your thing for turtles, they have those as well. The Monster Turtles, can't wait for those. But to be honest, if neither of these turtles are floating your boat and you want Mezco's or something else, go and check out Ent Earth. I guarantee you'll find something there that you like. Now, let's talk about MUCKMAN and Joe Eyeball. This thing, I'm going to gush over this, just FYI. There's very few things that I'm going to go like, I really wish they didn't do that. Maybe the shipper box. If they could just get rid of the shipper box and all the excess packaging, it would be a home run and a half. But let's just talk about the figure itself, right? This thing is amazing. I've seen people talk about this, post about this. I'm very happy to have now this more updated Playmates 2 Super 7 Ultimates figure for MUCKMAN and Joe Eyeball. It's amazing. I can't even stress that enough. So you have the old gun, right? This was the Muck Blaster, or whatever you want to call it. And it's still got that gray color to it, but it has slime. It's got bugs. It's got all the writing, right? Ketchup. And turtle suit, all that kind of stuff. It's amazing. A little paint inside as well, the scope and the gun part. Now, I would have loved some kind of projectile to fire out of this. I know it's not always a possibility these days, but I'll give it to them all day. Minus, I would say maybe putting a little bit more paint on the gray part, just to kind of differentiate it from the very the original one, you see what I mean here? Other than that, I think it's a knockout, it's a home run. I mean, I would just be nitpicking at that point. But I think they did a great job bringing out all those details, all those little fine little sculpted nuances that the original had. I mean, I'm not even to the figure yet. It's going to blow your mind. But it is very well done. It's cool. I'm very happy to have a more updated version of the whole MUCKMAN and Joe Eyeball blaster. You got bugs all over it. It's creepy, right? Then you have extra hands, which, hey, we don't need extra hands. But I love this extra hand right here. It's like goopy mess. You see the bones, right? The green bones. You got a worm sticking out on one side. It is amazing. I'm so glad they included these. I love that extra hand right there. That's awesome. Then you have the trash can. Again, bringing out all the details. So you got a can. You got a fish skeleton right there. Nothing says New York garbage unless you have a pizza and a fish skeleton, right? All the goo, of course, this will plug into his back if you wanted to go that route, or fill it with slime and have it pour out the center of them. You can do that too. Didn't come with slime, but No, I'm not doing that today, just FYI. Then you have Joe Eyeball, which is awesome, right? Again, he's basically, well, he's not so much a slug figure anymore. He's his own figure. He's got articulation. He's got that extra little eye right there, so he's three-eyed, and it's, they rock this, right? It's just the simplest little thing. But all the details, they really brought it out of the original Joe Eyeball. And you see he's got a little bit of a swivel on his head right there. The arms will merely just go up and down. It's the arms and the head. That's it, right? But you get to see all the little details, the little eyes right there on the side. That's very well done. And again, like I said, the best part about these types of Ultimate Super 7s is that they bring out details I didn't even notice with the original one. So you can put him in the trash can. You can do his best Oscar the Grouch impersonation, right? Have him facing front, facing forward, whatever you'd prefer. And then you just load him onto Muckman's back, right? So easy peasy. But when you see the original, like I said, the fish skeleton, the can, the pizza slice, it's all there, the goo, but in all honesty, it really didn't register with me as a kid, even Joe Eyeball right here. I mean, it's a very good sculpt, but because he's all one-color plastic, yeah, it does kind of lose that. You really have to look at the details, but the paint, man, oh man, on this new one, I mean, you see the difference between the two. The shape of the garbage can, everything stuck to it, Joe Eyeball sticking out of it. It's all just redone to the nines, right? It's awesome. Then you have the original Muckman figure, and as you can see, yeah, he holds his weapon, and he's got that goofy face and the clothespin nose. But stuff that this figure showed me, I didn't really even notice back in the day. He's got a teddy bear stuffed in his stomach. There's a giant Black Widow spider, right? All the different elements of trash that, once again, yeah, they get lost just because a lot of it is all one color plastic. Even all the goo, everything that's stuck to his foot, his big old manhole cover foot right there, and everything that is entangled in that garbagey mess. And if you pull off the back of the trash can right there, yeah, you get to see all the bugs, the spiders, everything. He's basically the 80s New York trash that I would think of, right? Even when going to New York nowadays, you sell the trash on the side of the road. It's just something that reminds me of that. I don't know how to describe it, but you could still pull the top of his head off, right? This new one, yeah, you're going to be able to do the exact same thing. Fill his head with slime if you want. Have it pour out of his mouth. Because then you have this guy, the new one. It's a heavy sucker, by the way. You're getting a lot for that premium Super 7 price. But look at the face on this guy. It's like they just dumped all the paint budget into this. It's absolutely amazing. The face itself. He has all these little tendrils and suckers and everything else. Stuff I didn't really even think of as a kid, right? When you look at the original and you think, well, it's not so much trash. It's like maybe he melded with like a seafood buffet kind of trash can, right? He's got the banana peel with the Chiquita banana thing. You pull the brain. Like, I didn't know that it was brains, right? That's awesome. So you're essentially taking off the top of his skull, right? Or whatever's left of it. So again, nice little nuances. He's got his little name tag right there. Everything is legible. Everything you can read on it. Little picture of what he used to look like. I'm glad that they stuck that on there. The arms, the articulation is perfect for this type of figure. You get everything done. And like I said, you got a flower. You got a Black Widow spider. You got like veins, or you want to say wires. You got bits of a skeleton. You got the teddy bear on the legs. You have mushrooms growing out. You got silverfish crawling around his leg. Parts of a trash can, parts of a fish, a milk carton, you know. The bottom of his feet, again, nicely detailed. Same with the manhole cover, but the foot is a nice little touch right there. You got soda, you got a frog, you got another pizza slice, bones, creepy thing, apple. You got 2 apples on this guy, right? A half-drank bottle of water. You got soda right there. Again, bugs up the yin-yang, boils, festering pieces, parts. I love the mushrooms. I like, you know, whatever that's supposed to be part of, you know, the bones, whatever on his wrist. Yeah. Again, very impressed by this. I love the bug-eyed nature to him. His head just basically rotates, so it's not going to look up and down. But, I mean, that's fine for what it is. He'll twist at the waist. His legs will kick out. Go very easy on the legs. I would say just don't force him right out the bat if you get this guy. He swivels at the knees, the legs. Knees articulate, elbows articulate. He does get a little bit loose at the wrists. Mine especially, just an FYI when he holds the weapon. But you take the trash can right there and you simply just ports right into his back and give him the gun. And, you know, again, as much as I've said about this already, I think you get the idea. It's a very awesome Ninja Turtle Joe Eyeball Muckman figure from back in the day. Now supercharged, brought to life. Because, yeah, showing what came before, now seeing here, I mean, he's huge. Not only that, he's a ginormous figure compared to the original Playmates one. But it works because all these figures are a larger scale now, but it's just very cool. So you know he's going to tower over the turtles. When you compare him to the NECA Toys version of Muckman and Joe Eyeball, you can say you can compare the two. Like, oh, man, it's so much better. Oh, look at all the detail and everything else. Well, no. Super 7 and NECA, it's really two different styles. So they're really hard to compare. All day, I'll tell you, this version of Muckman and Joe Eyeball is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. They did a fantastic job, paint, sculpt, everything else. The NECA Toys version is amazing as well because they went the animation route. They went with something that's never been made, but it looks like it crawled right out of the cartoon. So both of them just hit it in stride. It goes back and forth on your preference. Do you like the more exaggerated, more out there, grotesque version of Muckman and Joe Eyeball? Well then, yeah, the Super 7 version works. But if you're a fan of the cartoon and how those look and the cel-shaded animation and everything, yeah, that's where NECA definitely falls into it. From Muckman to Joe Eyeball themselves, I mean, it's two very distinct styles, two very distinct sculpts, but having them with the Playmates, the original one and everything else, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I can't say I need another Muckman and Joe Eyeball after this, right? But it's definitely very cool. And then, you know, you can recreate the whole robot chicken. Yeah. Krang, man. Now, if you're wondering how he scales with other turtles in the line, yeah, I mean, he goes, well, it's a big giant figure. It's kind of cool to see the old Playmates versions souped up and then more in a scale with one another because they were all kind of around the same height for the most part, right? But yeah, he towers over Raphael. And if you are more the NECA collector and you wanted to put this Muckman with your NECA figures, which that's what I thought of originally when I first saw this figure announced, I'm like, oh, that would look pretty cool, right? It does. It looks pretty dang cool. Even though the turtles are more of that cel-shaded cartoon look, the Muckman and Joe Eyeball for the Super 7 are that realm to kind of fit in this style as well. So I would say that it works for me. The old Playmates, they're going to tower over. I mean, Joe Eyeball is basically a Playmates figure in and of itself, right? So that's kind of cool to see. But yeah, I mean, again, if you didn't have the original Muckman, you could get this guy and it would totally work. And it's a bit of a different scale, so it's awesome. And I'll tell you all day, you definitely need this if you're a Ninja Turtle fan. And again, I'll reiterate, Super 7 is a very premium price, right, to pay. It kind of goes hand in hand. NECA Toys, they do 2-packs. Super 7s, they do singles. But it's all about what you collect, what you can afford. So it's all up in the air in terms of what you prefer for Turtles-wise. But I'll tell you this, if you were to get this version of Muckman and Joe Eyeball, I think that you would be thoroughly stoked. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about this new Muckman and Joe Eyeball figure. Is it for you? Will you be grabbing? Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk everything Playmates Toys, Varner Studios, Super 7 Ultimates, TMNT. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, yes, probably look to my Instagram coming soon. I'll get a nice thing of green slime and dump it in this guy and have all the fun that I used to have with the original, right? So when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.